Hi, after struggling in the playoffs, it's time to take a break from the hustle and bustle of the battle. Today I will try to discuss Vorian, the new legendary infantry commander. Who is he? What are his skills? Why was my first thought of King Arthur? And why is classic bleed synergy not his place? I invite you to watch. Vorian was the guardian of the Black Wall of Volantis who fought against the invaders. This is how it can be described in a nutshell. However, his story has a deeper meaning, because he is shown as a stubborn, goal-oriented, and brave man. First of all, this is described in the story of his sword. How many of us would have the courage to jump into volcano-filled water, pull out a sunken sword nearby, and return with only minor burns? A talented beast. Yes, his story is history. Let's look at the present. His army specialization is quite unique. He is the second commander to have a counter-move damage increase. Namely, it increases the damage of infantry relative to cavalry. It's not a huge buff that changes the counterattack triangle, but it's there, and that's quite interesting looking back. The other two passive specializations increase the total attack and health of infantry. All three require a commander to be deployed on the battlefield, which is quite normal for battle commanders. The army's active skill is in line with the rest of the commanders, except for the Night King, an interesting solution that significantly affects the survival of infantry on the battlefield. The strategic skills are as great as those of the previously added commander, Sarar. Vorian has a triple rage ability, namely increasing infantry's attack and health for 5 seconds after use. Additionally, it can block 10% of incoming damage, and when using a normal attack it has a 20% chance to apply bleed to the opposing unit. Statistics, protection, and damage of time. An almost perfect commander. Even if he could wash and cook, I think I would fall in love. The stat boost is also very high as it increases all infantry stats by a maximum of 240%. It's bad luck to lose with such a commander. The guard skills make him a great frontline player in this game mode. But where exactly is this game mode used? Outside of Weirwood and the training grounds? The answer is the rebel leaders. It deals solid damage and increases over time. It is true that the fight with the rebel leader takes a while, but his last swings with this sword will seriously damage the opponent's health. Additionally, with each critical hit, it gives itself damage reduction. It's not big, but with a healer at his back he can endure almost anything. Just to beat Rebel Leader's level 6, I would add him to the squad. And did I mention that it also increases own critical hit chance? Previously, I considered Arya Stark to be the best crit dealer. I changed my mind. Really? Finally, let's look at his awakening ability. My head hurts at the thought of facing him. Applies a bleeding effect every 3 normal infantry attacks. Has a 40% critical hit chance. Additionally, it applies a damage reflection effect. What does it mean? He doesn't need anyone else. He is a walking fortress and bleeding synergy in himself. In regular bleeding synergy, who is its core? Rei. However, if we have Vorian, we can forget about her, although she will find her place as a support. Of course, once someone has bleeding synergy, they have Sonara. Her increase in the number of attacks causes infantry to attack more often, which translates into a greater chance of a critical hit, as well as causing bleeding, which she always applies every 3 attacks. So we have 2 commanders out of 5. Vorian's best collaborator is Daron. With Sonara's support, he can use his awakening ability much more often, and thanks to Vorian's confidence in applying bleed, his damage, in theory, should be buffed frequently. This trinity is completely sufficient as the core and support of bleed synergy, but how to strengthen it? We can use Sonara even more by adding Laro to the lineup. Yes, that free commander. Every 4 attacks it has a 50% chance of a critical hit, but more importantly, it increases the health of infantry. Rei can be used as a synergy support, adding a bleed effect to any critical attack. And Vorian itself gives a good chance for this. Jon Snow will also find his place, giving damage reduction in the first seconds of battle, and giving critical strike chance for most of the battle. Even Kevin will fit in here, thanks to his ghastly barrier. Sandor Clegane will feel right at home here with his massive damage output. And if we add his exclusive weapon, he will really do wonders. The only commanders that won't fit here are those that require active army skills, because Sonara will block them. Really, adding Vorian to the game has made a solid shake-up in bleed synergy. It is a complete synergy in itself that can only be enhanced in several different ways. I could go on and on, adding combinations of dragon skills, but that's not the point, because the video is not about bleeding synergy, but about the commander himself. Finally, I can add something about Taverna, unfortunately only in words. Vorian increases finance, combat rate, and aptitude. But the most valuable of these things, namely combat rate, is based on the 4th quality level. Additionally, an abstract logical puzzle, what connects Vorian with King Arthur. The hint is at the beginning of the video. Thank you for today, and see you soon.